chow line. I'm Tracy Lingle. We have a special for the 4th of July. I'm going to be doing bacon wrapped pork loin. We're using the Infidel pork rub, bunker, bacon, bourbon, barbecue sauce from Grill Your Ass Off. Bacon wrapped stuffed pork loin. So this is a pork loin from Sam's Club or Costco. You can get them Walmart. You can get them at your local grocery store. They're usually about this size. It's not a pork tenderloin, it's pork loin. So it's a little fattier than a pork tenderloin. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this open and actually going to fold it, unfold it, and make it wider so we can lay stuff in it and roll it up. So we're going to take it and we're going to go right down the middle. There's multiple ways you can do this. You could try and basically do it like a Swiss cake roll from the get-go and start rolling it and try and peel it that way. I find it's easier just to do a simple straight down the middle cut. You're trying to go down, you don't want to go all the way through, but you want to go down till you're probably about 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. Here. Alright, so then what you're going to do here is you're going to go in. We'll go this way first because it's easier for me. Not as easy for you guys to see. We're just going to go and try and lay it flat. Peel up and then keep working it. You don't have to be perfect with it. It doesn't have to be neat and tidy. Really what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a fairly consistent thickness in your meat. So when you roll this thing out, it's all fairly the same thickness. Now each piece of meat is a little different, and you can go as thin as you want, thin as you're comfortable with. I'm probably doing this is probably closer to 1/2 inch thick in some places. Pulled out the really big cutting board for this one. If you're making small, thin, shallow cuts every time, you can kind of feel to see if you need to roll it some more and cut a little deeper. You'll hit some silver skin occasionally. That's okay. You actually want to cut that silver skin if you can. Alright, so now we've got that splayed out like that. So now we're going to season and then we're going to stuff this. So what we're going to season it with is we're going to use our Infidel pork rub, and then we're going to add 2 blocks of cream cheese with a head of garlic, a clove of garlic that we've chopped up, minced up ourselves fresh. We're going to mix that cheese and garlic together with a little bit of the Infidel rub to give it some color. We're going to season this with a rub, then put the cream cheese down. Then we've got onions, bell peppers, red onions, sweet onions, bell peppers. We're going to place this in here, and then we're going to roll it up, and then we're going to wrap it in bacon and then season the outside of it. This is our garlic and our cream cheese. So we're going to add a good amount of seasoning to it. And then we're just going to mix it up until it's got a good smooth consistency. And then we're going to spread it out over the top of this, and then we'll add our peppers and our onions. The way you know you've got it mixed up really good is when you spread it, that you don't see any of the white from the cream cheese. It's all kind of got that reddish color from the seasonings, and the garlic is mixed up. So now we're going to spread this out. It spreads a whole lot easier when it's room temperature. So We may have to go back and re-season this a little bit. You can mix cheddar cheese in with this, or any other kind of cheese you want to mix in. I'm just doing the cream cheese this time. I sometimes mix in cheddar cheese or Gouda, or whatever you're going for, whatever your flavor profile you're looking for. I've used apples and garlic. I've used pineapple. You can mix that in instead of using onions and bell peppers. You can use fruit. Whatever you're looking for flavor wise, for your flavor profile. But lots of great ways to do it. Definitely would spread better if it was room temperature. It's hot enough out here, I would think it would be getting softer, but it is not. It's holding its temperature pretty good. I'm trying to get this cooked done before it gets too late in the day, before it gets really hot. It's been averaging about 100 degrees, 95 to, well, anywhere between 92 and 95 this week, and I think we hit 100 yesterday. So we got a little cloud cover today, so hopefully not as bad today. But we're wanting to shoot fireworks tonight, so hopefully not too bad tonight. The rain stays away. Alright, so we have one yellow bell pepper, one sweet onion, one red onion. So now we're going to mix these up a little bit. And just remember, it's going to be rolled, so you want to kind of put your stuff in the direction it's going to roll in. The onion will fold up pretty good, but the bell peppers won't. You want to make sure you get some bell pepper in all the bites. And I just had a yellow bell pepper left over. I would have used, you can use a green one, a red one. There's no reason why I just used a yellow one other than I had an extra one. No reason to buy another one just for this, because they taste the same. They're like crayons. Ask Mikey. The yellow ones taste just like the blue ones. Now you may not, depending on the size of your pork loin, you may not need all of these vegetables, but you can put as many in there as you would like. Stuff it full. The more you put in, the harder it is going to be to roll, but the more texture you'll have in your bite. More flavor you'll add. I'm probably not going to go much further than this. Alrighty, so now we've got it coated with cream cheese. We got our onions and bell peppers. I'm missing a couple onions over here. We're going to roll this bad boy up. It's like rolling up a sleeping bag. You want to make sure you get that nice and, well, actually, you know what, we're going to add a little more seasoning. Shoe fly. A little more seasoning. Because as we roll this up, it's gonna, the other side is not seasoned, so as we roll this up, we want some of those seasonings to get back on. So now that we got that rolled up, we'll set that aside until we get our bacon laid out. We'll get the bacon rolled out. We're going to make a basket weave with the bacon, and then we'll set that on it and roll it up in the bacon. We'll be good to go to put it on the grill. All right, so we have our basket weave here. Now we're going to take our pork loin, gently unwrap this bad boy. Keep it unrolling. We want our open side into the basket weave. Fat side, I didn't show this when I was cutting it, but I left the fat side down when I open it up. So we want our fat side down bottom, so that way it can prevent any of that. This will render off and drip and not get like, because there's also silver skin underneath here. So this will all right, so we've got our pork loin sitting on our basket weave here. And I'm going to scoot this over just a little bit there. And now we're going to wrap it. We're going to try and stuff the bacon up underneath the edges. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stick this in the freezer just for a little bit. Actually, you know what? Let me season it first. Now we're going to wrap this up and stick it in the freezer just to let it hold its shape a little better, because it's starting to warm up and it's starting to get really loose. I want this thing to stick together when I put it on the grill to smoke it. So we're going to take this and put it in the freezer. We'll go ahead and get the fire lit on the grill, and we'll be back to cook this thing. Alright, so we have our pork loin on the smoker. We got our smoker up to about 300 to 325 degrees. It'll start coming down a little bit. I just added a little bit of wood to it, so it'll start coming down just a little bit. And after this, it starts lighting it up, and the longer I leave this open, the higher the flame gets. So we're going to get this closed up. But yeah, we pulled it out of the freezer. All we wanted it to do was just get more firm, so that way it's easier to manage on the grill. So that's what it looks like going on. Make sure the ends of the bacon are underneath it, so as that bacon tightens up, It'll squeeze it, make it nice, tight. Smoke this thing for a couple hours. All right, so we have a internal temperature of at least 150 degrees on both ends of this. So now I'm going to glaze it with the barbecue sauce we were talking about. The bunker, bacon.
For probe 1, the food rest time has started.
Put this and glaze it all over everything. Nice, generous coating. And we'll let that tack up. All right, now we're gonna let that sit. We got it glazed. We're gonna let it tack up, and then we'll pull it off and let it rest. While we wait on that to cook, let's take a moment and hear some stories from some veterans about what the 4th of July means to them.
Happy 4th of July, guys. My name is Justin Ledwig. I served with 171 Cav for 4 years, active duty, and then with the 351st Military Police Company out of Ocala, Florida, for another 3.5 years. The 4th of July means several things to me. First thing what comes to mind is the freedom and independence that we have in this country. You know, based off of the lead I think it was the lead declaration. It was passed 2 days before the Declaration of Independence. It's voted into effect by Congress, and then once we had the Declaration of Independence, basically it declared our freedom from Britain. And so when I think of the 4th of July, I think about all the freedoms we have that are granted to us through the powers vested in the Constitution. So that's the biggest thing what comes to mind on the 4th of July is those things right there. And actually, let me correct myself. It was the Lee Resolution, excuse me. So that's the biggest thing what comes to mind on this 4th of July is just the freedoms that we have granted by the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence.
What's up, everybody? Freedom Friends here. We wanted to take a second to shout out a good friend of ours and a fellow Freedom friend, Tracy Lingle from My Chow Line. Tracy reached out to us and asked us if we would tell you what we feel about 4th of July. John, how do you feel about 4th of July?
So I feel like 4th of July is it's the last day that one person in America is going to have 10 fingers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and dignity.
You can lose fingers and keep dignity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it's a good
true.
Story.
Totally.
Yeah.
Scott, what do you think?
The 4th of July is the birth of this great nation. We need to celebrate our independence, keep this nation great, and, party on. It's 4th of July.
Yeah.
Dig it.
Smoke a victory, goddammit.
Smoke a victory cigar. Yes.
And
yes.
if you're shooting off fireworks and there's veterans that live around you, if you're not trying to create the Tet Offensive, you're not doing it good enough.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if they tell you that there's a problem, they're lying. There's not a problem. All right.
I like that spicy nostalgia.
I love that spicy nostalgia. No. And for me, 4th of July means that I haven't had to listen to the British since 1776. And God bless that. Right. So, no.
I like my coffee black and the tea in the harbor.
You damn right. You damn right. So I'm going to raise my glass. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Happy 4th of July to you at My Chow Line. 3 little things, boys.
Smoke on.
Drink on.
God damn it, kids.
Freedom to fuck on.
Later.
Lieutenant Jerry Lingle, Rifle Platoon Leader in the 1st Air Cav Division, 2nd Battalion, 5th Regiment, Charlie Company. I served in the Central Highlands of Vietnam in 1966 and 67, and it was during that time that the sense of pride of serving came to the whole, and it also made me proud that I was able to live up to my pledge that on my honor I would do my best to do my duty to God and my country. And just very thankful that I was in a good unit and that I can wish all of you a happy and meaningful 4th of July.
Hello friends, my name is Michael Hare. I served in the Air Force from 1975 till I retired in 2010. And as I reflect on this time of year, as we approach our Declaration of Independence, the 4th of July, a lot of words kind of flood into mind about what it means and the gift that we were given by our forefathers, this freedom and independence. And I think it would be easy to think that we're guaranteed that, oh, it's just there, it'll always be there. And I think just like the battles that they had to fight those hundreds of years ago to win their freedom and gain their independence, I think we need to maybe recalibrate ourselves and think about the current battles that we're fighting, and that, in fact, this beautiful gift that we've been given could go away. So celebrate, but keep in mind, this could go away. Don't give it up. Fight for freedom. It's not free. God bless.
Hi. I'm taking part with a project that Tracy has originated. And we were talking about my military service. I was in the Signal Corps, traveled in January of '61 to Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. Then was deployed to the Republic of Korea, peacetime, thankfully. I was a company commander eventually of Delta Company, 51st Signal Battalion. We had 100 Korean soldiers in that unit and 40 U.S. enlisted men. So I ended up with a liaison officer to help me be able to communicate. And he also took me all around the country. I was able to go to the Chief Signal Officer's Republic of Korea officers dinner one time. That was to a Philharmonic Orchestra performance. Anyway, when I came back to the States in July of '62, I went to Fort Gordon there as assistant adjutant. And then during that time, the Cuban Missile Crisis came along, and I was deployed to Patrick Air Force Base, and then later to Sanford Naval Air Station when things cooled down a little bit. And then I was sent back to Fort Gordon. And then I was discharged in January of '63, and I was discharged from the Army Reserve in '69. But anyway, I value my service and the contact of those I served with, and I'm so thankful for, again, so many of the extended Lingle family have served. We pray for this country of ours. We are thankful for those who have served in the past and those who are still serving to obtain and maintain these freedoms that we enjoy. And thank you for this. We'll remember these folks on the 4th of July. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Brent Beecham. I'm an Air Force Academy graduate, class of 1986, and I served in Desert Storm as an F-15 pilot in the 71st Fighter Squadron, 1st Fighter Wing from Langley Air Force Base. My cousin Tracy asked me what the 4th meant to me. I studied U.S. and military history at the Air Force Academy. So many lessons were learned in the founding of our nation, many of which youth do not learn today. They are taught how flawed our founding fathers were, but they forget the most of history. Common man lived as subjects as one ruler or another. But on July 4th, 1776, uncommon men risked their lives by signing our Declaration of Independence from Great Britain. They declared that our rights were not given to us by the king, but by God himself. And these rights could not be taken or given away. It's an aspirational document that, like the Bible, is something we should strive for. The founders understood that we had a long way to achieve the vision that they had for America, but it must not be forgotten they would have been killed for treason had the war gone against them. They were mostly men of means and wealth. They risked it all for the hope of freedom for all mankind.
My name is Chris Hall, proud member of the Steadfast and Loyal 4th Infantry Division. I served from 2001 to 2004, spent time in Iraq from 2003 to 2004. My rank when I got out was Sergeant, P5. 4th of July to me means it's a celebration of freedom and independence. A lot of the freedoms that we get from day to day are often taken for granted. And unless you have been in a combat zone in a war-torn country where freedoms are not afforded to the local people, you may not understand how great we have it over here. But it's a great country we live in. Take time this 4th of July to look around and enjoy the freedoms that we have paid for by a lot of sacrifice from service members all abroad who have brought the freedoms to us and kept us free. So enjoy the 4th of July. Bye.
All right, so we've pulled it off the grill. It's rested. Let's go ahead and slice into this thing. Remember, we used infidel seasoning and the bunker bacon, bourbon, barbecue sauce from Grill Your Ass Off. Happy 4th. Of course, Soldier Bourbon. Good stuff. We'll do the cutaway. The reveal. You look at that. All those juices pouring out. Alright guys, see I've cut into this. Got a good juice, good creaminess. I got some over here on this little plate. It's a big piece, so we're gonna get this looked at. I'm gonna take it to a taste test. I'm telling you what, this is really good. Oh wow. Creaminess, the spices are there, onions, bell peppers, the garlic, savoriness of the bacon. Man, you can taste the smoke. And it's juicy. Oh my goodness, look at this juice pouring out everywhere. You need to try this. This is good with just about any kind of meal. You can do it with any starch, anything, but this is really good. You need to try this. Grill Your Ass Off seasonings, barbecue sauce. Happy 4th of July, everyone. May God bless you, and may God bless America.